Today we're reviewing The Surfer. The Surfer is the new Nicolas Cage movie that is directed by Lorcan Finnegan. Now, Nick Cage for me has been on hit after hit after hit in the last couple of films that he has done. And to be honest, I went into this really hoping that he would carry that on. In my opinion, this film is very, very good. One of the biggest things I think is this film's been misconstrued by people that have watched it. I completely watched it and got a totally different experience than many other people have, and I'll get into that now. I never normally put spoilers in my reviews, but to get this review as best that I can, I had to do that. So this is your spoiler warning. So Nick Cage is basically playing this guy. He's basically playing the surfer. And the film opens where he goes on this beach with his son. He's going through like a divorce, and he's got his like teenage son with him. And he goes to the beach. They've got the boards ready, and these boys are on the beach, and they're like, "Get away! You're not a local. You're not welcome to live here." He's actually going through a bit of a process at the moment to buy a house, like buy his dad's old house, and try and rekindle and get back to the bay, basically, because that's where he grew up and he loved, and he wants to have a nice place for his boy and all of that. The film, however, takes a bit of a turn because it's following Nick's journey of actually going through a difficult time, and ultimately, he is this like guy that looks this way, but he's actually going through this a bit of a retreat, and we find that out towards the end. It's not very obvious at the beginning, but towards the middle it definitely becomes very apparent that he's going through this club that basically improves your struggles, and you've got to go through difficult moments to ultimately get through them and be an ultimately strong man and a strong individual. You've got to be down to then be brought back up, so to speak, and he goes through a lot of difficulties in the film. Some of the supporting cast, I think, in this film was very good. Nick Cage was great. There was a lot of Australian actors in this film. It was taking place down in Australia, so there's a lot of Australian actors in there. I think the whole ensemble of the cast played it really well. Nick Cage, for me though, was playing a lot of scenes a lot of the time on his own, and he actually did really, really well. It was fantastically put together, a real insightful piece of art. The whole film for me had a very distinguished colour palette, had very distinguished shot types. Camera was quite low down at some points, really far in at other points, but it was all about, being confused and your mind being construed in a way. So for me, I thought it was a very creative film, very enjoyable. I also think you can watch it multiple times, even though you kind of know what's happened. Like, I think now that I know what's happened, I'll probably watch it in a totally different way, and then obviously a couple of years later I probably won't watch it, and then all of a sudden I'll be like shocked again. So I think for me it has got a lot of rewatchability about it, and I really did enjoy it. So rating The Surfer, what did I give it? Well, I actually gave it a 4-star. Very, very good film, very creative. I think some of the things that were missing maybe could have been like maybe some more like musical moments or some score elements that could have added a bit of depth there. I mean, there was a score there, it was good, but it wasn't as noticeable that I like to look for when I'm reviewing my films. But for me, Nick Cage was fantastic. The whole ensemble of the cast was fantastic, and for me, I think it's a great underrated film. Have you seen The Surfer? Let me know in the comments down below.